When the right people come together at the right moment, when they care almost as much about winning as they do about each other, they can become the best of the best.
Welcome to the best soccer show, the best soccer show in the whole world.
Here we go! It's the best soccer show. Jason Davis, Jared Dubois, live, back at it. We took a week off to celebrate moms, to celebrate our mothers, the women who gave birth to us. Who brought
and let's
that
be honest,
person.
making up for the fact our children would do nothing for our wives if we didn't make them.
This is true.
Well, your child can't do anything for her.
One
yet.
of them cannot. He literally cannot do anything on his own. He knows he can
He can
say
make her
mama.
a gift, but it's not what she wants.
He can say mama. Yeah, he can leave a load for her. The other one should do better, but I don't want to get into it. By the way, yesterday was his birthday, so my oldest son is now 14. 14
Jesus.
years old. Yeah, that happened. Do you remember when we started? His voice is in the open. We just had his voice in the open.
Yeah.
That was him when he was 5, maybe?
So
5 years old?
He was, 2008 he was born?
It might have been. Yeah, he was born in 2008. It might have been
Our
a little
first
bit
show, he was 2 years old.
Our first show was like right around my birthday, 2011. So he was 3. He was 3 and something. So there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Morgan. Thanks, Morgan. Morgan's
Same
showing up
world.
in the chat to tell us that we're old. Jared, the title of this show,
Yes.
put together by our great friend Nick Suberling, who also spent spent his weekend listening to your favorite kind of music, country music, as played by your favorite artist, Garth Brooks. I want to get into
was
that.
he chained up or like this is willing?
No, man, he was all into it. He was
Wait,
calling back.
okay, hold on. If he was all into it,
Wait, hold on. Real quick. How many Garth Brooks songs can you name?
one.
One? Just
Probably
one?
like
No,
that
the
lightning
chat-
crashes one or like
It's
thunder
not-
rolls
that's-
one.
Thunder Rolls, not Lightning Crash.
Okay,
Lightning Crash.
that's
Lightning Crash is live. No, but I'm curious now because I did go through a period in high school where I had some friends who were really into Garth Brooks.
That one album I used to listen to at a pool hall with a buddy of mine who liked it. So there was a time where I could have named like 4, but I
don't know how deep. If I had like unlimited time, like if I was one of those kids who got unlimited time on the test, untimed test, I maybe could do 10 or 12.
Real quick, can we bring Nick on so I can ask just one question?
Oh yes, let's do that.
Dick.
Let's bring him in.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
There he is.
All right, Jason says you went all in on country. Now, granted, his words, not yours. His words.
I said he told me he drove 6 hours to
True
go
or
watch
false?
Garth Brooks play.
6 hours to watch Garth
6
Brooks.
hours.
Wait, is that 3 and 3?
3 and
Or
3.
Okay, 3 and 3. That's not nearly as much of a.
That's the middle size from 7-Eleven, not the giant size big gulp, right? The middle one. 3
Okay,
hours.
so Nick, true or false? At any point, did a cowboy hat reach your head?
No, it did
Ooh.
not.
No.
No.
Did you have any flair that would be considered
Was
like
it-
you wore
yeah, was
some
it-
spurs or
Was
anything or
there
some chaps?
any paraphernalia, any of the stylings of the country music genre?
A flag with a
upon
blue
your
stripe
body?
in it?
What?
All my friends are good. This seems like that's a required thing. I don't know.
No. We're
Wow.
not. That's not what we're doing here. That's not
Just
what we're
saying.
doing. That's not.
If you're
what
gonna
we're
go to
doing.
Comic-Con, dress up. Like,
By the way, I just remembered actually a very good Garth Brooks song that I think you might like, Jerry. It's not super country. It's The Dance. You should listen to The Dance. That's a
The
fantastic
Dance?
song. Yes.
okay.
Anyway,
I
what else,
I couldn't
Nick?
tell you anything much about that. So Nick, oh my God,
Oh,
is that
what do
Nick's
we got?
picture from? Look at him. He came prepared with
Yeah, man.
props.
No, first of all, this is I told you so because I don't know if it was a bonus show or what. We're like, oh, Garth Brooks playing the local county fair. Garth Brooks pulls him in, dude. Look at that. Look at that.
80,000.
That's insane. Garth Brooks does better numbers than Major League Soccer on television, except he doesn't do it on television.
Did
He's
Chris
doing it in
Gaines open?
stadiums.
Not only was this 80,000 on a Saturday night, he added another show Friday night that filled half the stadium.
He added a show. Jared, he had so much demand for his product. He added a show and filled half a stadium.
Dude,
That's insane.
There's so many white people there. You know that there's so many white people.
Oh no,
there.
yeah. There's no color in that building. Doesn't mean it's not
That
good
is
music.
accurate.
Doesn't mean it's not popular. And look, I think he's a great musician. I just choose not to
Okay,
listen to him.
Jason? What's an act that you would drive 3 hours one way to see?
Wow. Is there an act? I don't know that there's an act. Wow.
Is there a band that could get back together that would make you do it?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good question.
I don't know because I live in LA. I'm so
God, listen to this.
It's easy. Like everyone comes to LA. I don't have to do this. You know. I will say this. I was just I've got really into this last week. I don't know if you listened to the new Wet Leg album. Well, it's the only.
I don't know who
album.
Wet Leg is.
Check out
Wet Leg. No idea.
The British pop or rock band. But they're going around LA. There's this weird thing now where a couple acts now I've wanted to see for some reason aren't going into LA. I don't know what's going on here. So I've had to think about what's the furthest distance I'll go. Will I go to San Diego? Will I go to Vegas? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. You do have Vegas. That's what. How far is Vegas? About the same drive.
Vegas is about 3.5 hours.
Yeah, so about the same amount of drive Nick made to go see Garth Brooks. And
yeah, but it's
everybody
also
goes to
Vegas. It is Vegas.
Vegas.
You know, you're going there. You're going to make a weekend out of it. You know, I'm going to Vegas in 2 weeks. By the way,
once you hit the city limits, it's
do I put money on the World Cup? Do you think there's odds on the World Cup already posted in Vegas?
Oh, absolutely, 100% there is. Yes.
What do you think is the most minuscule level of soccer I can find the bet on in Vegas?
Like the smallest league or most unknown competition.
Yes. Like can I bet on MLS? Probably.
Yes, absolutely. You can bet on MLS. You should not do so, but you could.
Can I bet on NWSL?
I don't know if there are lines on NWSL. I don't know.
Can I bet on USL?
I doubt it, but it's possible. Somebody tell me. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know. I just think I might be doing some of that stuff.
So let me set up, because this is a soccer program, and I
really?
think we're going to talk about soccer at some point. I got Felix in Chicago. He's going to wait for just a second. I want to set this up. What I was trying to say about Nick Suberling, who went to see Garth Brooks this weekend, is that he set up the show, and his thing on the title of the show was Robinson hurt, now what? And I feel like now what is pretty much out my life, like now what? But Miles Robinson is hurt, and that's the big thing. And Felix in Chicago is on the line to talk about country music and Miles Robinson. So Felix, go.
Miles Robinson's a good country name.
Anyway, what's going on, guys? No, my first thought. So I this is what I said to Nick. Look, as a very proud Latino. I live in the city of Chicago. I live in the city, so I live in an urban area. I have to say, maybe this is coming with older age. I actually do appreciate country music. I'm not going to say it's my main genre.
Well, okay, so Felix,
say,
you said you're Latino, but I need to know what nations of origin we're talking about, because that will determine how inclined you are to country music.
Not Mexico.
Okay, well then that okay. Right. If you were Mexican, I'd get it. Yes, right, exactly.
Guys, Brooks, good luck.
I'll say this about country music. I think it's really accessible melodies, and the storytelling. I think outside of hip hop, I think you'll see the best storytelling you'll see. Is in country music.
I'll say this.
rock.
With the injuries that are happening in the U.S. national team right now, this is worthy of a country music song. Yeah, there should be a country music song talking about the losses that we're going through right now.
Apparently, writing songs and singing them about the national team, that is Adam Bell's bit over at Scuffed, and I don't think we should be stealing it. But maybe we do need to encourage him to write a song, a blues. Well, it can either be a country song or it can be a blues song. Blues would definitely fit right now. And yeah, I don't know that we need a tragic hip hop song, Felix, but yeah, the injury. So what do you think about this Miles Robinson thing? Because look, I don't know that anybody thought Miles Robinson was going to be the key to doing well at the World Cup, but it certainly sucks that he's out because he played very well at times during the qualifying process.
I think Miles being hurt. Yeah, clearly his form being down this MLS season. It isn't encouraging. I wonder how much of that was because he didn't get a transfer to Europe, and he kind of got that like Kellen Acosta syndrome, that where they didn't get their big move, and there's kind of a letdown, and they kind of their motivation drops a little bit. In terms of his play for the national team, I always appreciated how well he's able to kind of like snuff out problems. Even sometimes it was problems that he created, but his ability to kind of just snuff out a lot of issues it was huge. That being said, in terms of who's going to replace him, I hope it's going to be something of an open competition, whether it's Chris Richards or it's Aaron Long, which is maybe not what some people want to hear, or if it's going to be CCV, who looks like is going to get a shot, coming up in these camps. There's a fourth name, or Eric Palmer Brown, which no one really seems to talk about for some reason, or it's Eric Palmer Brown. I think it's going to be one of those four. It's going to get a legitimate shot. I know some people will bring up John Brooks. I think John Brooks is out. That's my personal opinion.
I'm not of the opinion that John Brooks needs to walk into the starter's job, Jared, but I would say that there's no reason for John Brooks not to at least be in the mix here if it is, as Felix says, something of an open competition.
There is no reason not to talk about John Brooks because Berhalter has not closed the door. For some reason, either Greg,
wait, has he not?
Greg, either light a match or get out the bathroom. One of the two needs to happen here. We need some clarity on what this stench is because
he has he even really ghosted him? Because that's the move, right? The nowadays the move isn't let's sit down and I'll break up. It's not you, it's me, right? That's the move, right? The George Costanza breakup technique. He could do that, but he kind of has. But at least for us watching this whole thing unfold, he's never said, "Oh, John Brooks is done."
Is this Jurgen Klinsmann's Donovan moment, with Berhalter right now, leaving the best player at a position potentially off a World Cup team? That's what we're talking about right now.
Well, so the thing about Klinsmann leaving Donovan off the World Cup team for 2014 is that although it was a shock, and I still think that Donovan would have been useful in Brazil, I don't know that Donovan makes a difference to that run. Donovan doesn't stop.
Crap.
No, Donovan doesn't stop.
Wondolowski can't score from 6 yards out, and you don't think Landon Donovan can finish that chance?
You don't know that Landon Donovan would be in that spot to finish that chance. It would be the guy in that moment.
In that case, you can't argue any player would have helped that team because it's all hypothetical.
But my point is that Julian Green scored in that tournament and did nothing before that and nothing afterwards, right?
You only played in one game. You're telling me Landon Donovan wouldn't got more than one game in that tournament?
Based on the fact that Klinsmann didn't call him up. If he had called him up, yes, I'm saying he wouldn't have gotten more than one game in that tournament.
That's ridiculous. That's
Look,
ridiculous.
no, hold on. I'm not... Okay, so you're going to tell me that you think Landon Donovan could have pushed that team to the round of 16, or the round.
All
of,
I'm telling you is that
quarterfinal
team
round.
would have been better with Landon Donovan on it. That's all I'm telling you.
Okay, but
because
team,
you end up taking a 16-year-old that played a substitute, played one game at the World Cup.
I understand that Donovan would have been more useful as an idea. I'm simply asking if you think the team would have gone farther just because Landon Donovan was on the roster.
Potentially, yes. I think they could have. Belgium would think was going to be a stopper either way. There's not many teams in the world that can beat Belgium, but Tim Howard on his day made it almost happen. But what I'm saying is that when the 22 other players look down that bench and look in that locker room and Landon Donovan is sitting there, you don't think they feel more confident about their chances at a World Cup?
Okay, maybe they beat Ghana. They drew with Portugal.
I understand sometimes you got to take a devil's advocate, but this is not the one to pick.
No, it okay. I don't think that at that point in his career, Landon Donovan is a player who turns that team into a quarterfinalist. That's all I'm saying. And so what I'm not saying Klinsmann was right to leave him off. I was as upset as anybody about that decision. I'm saying that Klinsmann leaving off Donovan isn't what caused that team to lose to Belgium in the round of 16. I just don't believe that.
Yeah, that's my foot caused them to lose to Belgium.
Okay, and also the 35 shots they gave up to Belgium. Yes,
hey, man,
too.
Like I said, Tim Howard had one. We wasted it.
Okay,
Tim Howard was on one.
All right, Felix, you got anything
Let's
else?
get Felix' take though. Felix, is John Brooks potentially Gregg Berhalter's Donovan moment?
No, I don't think so, because I think my personal opinion is that I think John Brooks doesn't really fit the way the team plays. Where I think Donovan did fit the team, and Donovan was still arguably one of the best attacking players that we had in 2014. I think John Brooks is an aging defender with a bad back and a potential attitude problem, and he doesn't fit the way this team plays. And
I don't necessarily disagree with you, Felix, but here's the one thing that's different in the Donovan conversation. There's injuries everywhere. And you just lost your potential starting center back. Yeah. I think that's different. That's the one thing that I think is different in that conversation, and it's probably a little bit unfair to have that conversation. But I think Brooks is potentially more essential to this team than Donovan was to that one, just because Aaron
Right.
Long just came off the field. And supposedly he's fine. He just came off the field with an injury.
Yeah, that was
And
midweek. That was an Open Cup game. That
Miles
was
Robinson's Achilles looks like a fruit by the foot right
Well,
now.
okay, so let's do this. There are some positive things that happened this weekend in some other parts of the team that I want to get to. I don't want to make this just this like moan fest about the injuries and about center back now. But and look again, it's not that I think the team is better off for not having Miles Robinson. That would be a ridiculous statement. But I do think it's fair to say that you're not going to panic over losing Miles Robinson, right? You shouldn't panic over. He hadn't emerged as some sort of unmovable object off the back line, right? He was a good partner for Walker Zimmerman multiple times during World Cup qualifying, and some of that was circumstance. Some of that was the fact that John Brooks either played himself out of the team or pissed off Gregg Berhalter to the point of getting kicked off. Some of that was the fact that Chris Richards got hurt at the wrong times. Various other players who might have been center back options just weren't available. Even Walker Zimmerman had to kind of Wally Pip his way into this team, right? The other way around. That Lou Gehrig his way into this team. When somebody else got hurt, he gets out of the roster. He becomes the first choice center back. And now, he's had some moments. He wasn't great in the last couple of matches for Nashville, but people are pretty much assured that Walker Zimmerman's going to be at least in the team. I don't know. We can. I think the best case scenario is that Chris Richards is 100% healthy and has got some minutes under his belt by the time we get to November. The problem is the man is going back to Bayern Munich, and we don't know what's going to happen with him. At least for the moment, he's going back to Bayern Munich. So, yeah.
And here's a good shout from BMR 209. He says, John Brooks is a center back that was locked in starter on a Bundesliga team, even though they weren't going to bring him back next season. So that kind of tells you the level that John Brooks might be, in that they know he's not coming back, yet they weren't bleeding a new person
but I
for the
think,
next season.
I think that, there's that. Wolfsburg was pretty much kind of just settled where they were. They weren't going to be in
What's the
Europe.
difference if he sits the last 3 games?
No, you're right to an extent. I think that's probably true. But I think I'll also recognize that he did a lot of stuff, a lot of good things for them. I think, I don't know, I think dropping him would have sent a bad message to whoever they're trying to get to Wolfsburg after that. And the reason he's leaving is because his wages are going to be more than Wolfsburg wants to pay, not because they're pissed at him or don't want him around.
What do you make of the? I've seen this kind of take out there a few times that Walker Zimmerman was carrying Miles Robinson. Do you feel like is that legit? Do you think Walker Zimmerman and Miles Robinson caught side praise for playing next to Walker Zimmerman?
He got he got a stray off of Zimmerman's praise, but like a positive.
Yeah,
stray?
he's like the Jose Canseco to Mark McGuire.
Oh, interesting. I don't know that I would go that far. I would say that I think Walker is an obviously, like, he projects as a more commanding presence out there. He obviously wins a ton of balls in the air.
Yeah.
I think both of them have a tendency to do stupid things with the ball at their feet, which I don't know if that stuck to Walker the way it maybe should have.
I think there's a little bit of recency bias here, because I think Miles Robinson started to come down in form over the course of World Cup qualifying through those last two windows as Walker Zimmerman was going up. And I think earlier in the cycle, Miles Robinson was more essential, doing more work. And I think his form around January, that's about the time where, man, just doesn't look the same player coming out of that camp, the camp that they had. And Walker Zimmerman was just excelling at that point.
But this is the thing. So Jackie says Robinson won the Gold Cup largely without Zimmerman. I mean, there are going to be things that you can point to and say, So you're talking about recency bias, but recency bias is about form, and I know we want to lock into form because it's really all the information we have right now, and club form is largely what we've got at the moment. That's why we've already had Felix saying, "Hey, he hasn't been good to start the MLS season." So what, but form is. It can't be the only thing you go on, right? Form with club. You can't go on form with club.
I find that form is a far more of a thing I personally take into account with strikers than I do defenders. Because I think there's a confidence piece.
Right, there's a confidence factor to that. Yeah. Sure. And because those combinations do change dynamics, right?
Yeah,
because the goalkeeper behind you, because of whoever you're playing next to. And that's, to me, that's the biggest thing about Robinson going down.
Yeah.
Is that you have broken up that partnership. Now, what's the most famous partnership in history, Jared? What's your favorite duo?
Batman
and Robin, huh?
Batman and Robin's one.
Batman and Robin's the one you go to? Pippen and Jordan?
Pippen and Jordan's a pretty good one. I would say Robin
Simon
Big.
and Garfunkel?
Robin Big.
Robin Big? Are you kidding me? Robin.
I love
Robin
that show.
Big.
That show is so funny.
Robin Big.
When he broke out the man palm.
I saw Big on some video. I don't. Not Big. Sorry. I saw. R.I.P.
Rest in
Big.
peace.
I saw Rob
Big
on some video. I don't know why. I don't know what I was doing that like an autoplay video or something happened. I see Rob talking about signing his deal to do Dream Factory, whatever it was with
Fancy
MTV.
Factory,
The
yeah.
man is aged, and it scared me. It frankly scared me how much he is aged because I'm like,
There's
no,
a cool conversation. If you want to watch just on Howie Mandel's podcast, he has Rob Dyrdek on. He tells the story of how he got his wife, and it's really, really how he manifests things. And all of a sudden he's marrying a Playboy model from Hawaii. Like it's crazy how he just manifests things. That dude.
My man Raymond's got it. This is it. Chris Farley and David Spade. That's the next level.
I think
okay?
one of those. I mean, one of
Okay.
those is definitely a sidekick there.
Well, you just named a bunch. Jordan and Pippen, you named a sidekick. Batman and Robin, you named a sidekick.
Pippen almost got MVP, I think, by
So
himself.
you're
if I remember
breaking up
correctly.
this duo, and now you've got to replace it. So now it's Batman and I don't know who Chris Richards gets to be. Crockett and Tubbs. Is Chris Richards the obvious candidate here? Again, presuming 100% healthy.
Yeah, I think that. God, there's a part of me that wants to say like Brooks is the guy
Well,
you
so-
can just easily put in there. You can easily put Brooks in, and know that you have a competent, high-level defender. Where his head's at, and the chemistry, and he and Berhalter's relationship is the only thing that makes that murky. From a skill standpoint, I have no problem putting John Brooks in there. I think he's the number one consideration in terms of talent. Now, in terms of a guy that I think Berhalter wants to play in there and is the best
But
fit for
you
what we're
can't
doing
you
is
can't
Chris
play-
Richards.
You can't play John Brooks with Walker Zimmerman, though. I don't think you
Why
can.
not?
I think that's an. I
Not
think
enough
that's
speed?
like a. Yeah, I think that's a very slow situation. And if you're going to, okay, I think you
Got Tyler
need
Adams, dude.
somebody more athletic. Yeah, he can't cover. He can't cover all of that ground. He's not.
I'll agree with you on this. And
amazing.
here's the reason I'm going to agree with you on this. Because if you want Anthony Robinson to play like the way you want Anthony Robinson to play, you have to have a guy fast enough to slide in and cover that space. And I don't know if that's John Brooks'
Well,
best role.
if you push your fullbacks high, which Berhalter does that. I mean, if it's Dest on the other side, or if it's Dest on one side and Robinson on the other.
But
by the way,
Adams
both
can
those
always
guys-
cover one, but he can't cover both. That's the problem.
That is true. He can cover one. He can't cover both. And you're probably not sending them both, right? You're trying to create some sort of balance in that regard. I mean, if you do have both of your fullbacks up the field and you have giant gaps behind them, you got more issues than whether or not your center back is is fairly quick. Like that's, as you said, that's obviously going to be an issue. All right, now you had thought about the idea of putting together a 23 for these June games. I don't know if we want to go that far tonight. But I do think we should talk about striker now, and we haven't done a ton of MLS recently, although we were into week 11.
23-man roster. We taking 6 forwards total, you think? Let's just have that conversation. Let's have
Well,
that
first of all, it's not
conversation.
going to be a 23. It's going to be like a 26 because
All
that's
right, let's
what's going to be the
assume
World
it's a
Cup.
23. Let's just assume
Because-
it's a 23.
Okay, all
It
right.
makes it easier. I don't know. I don't know. Do you want to have? I think if you say 26, you end up taking guys, and the conversation is watered down a bit.
Maybe, but that means you have room for CCV and Haji Wright, who haven't been in the picture yet, and this mystery dual national player.
All right, let's just do
that
this
Berhalter
then.
has
Forget
teased.
23. Forget 26. How many strikers do you want to talk about taking? Let's just commit to a number.
Strikers.
Yeah, across the whole front three.
Oh, you're including the forward,
Yeah,
the
front three.
wider forwards.
Yeah. 7.
6 or 7.
Let's say 7.
Okay, 7. But 7. Fine, 7.
Let's just commit to 7. Let's you and I have a conversation about the 7.
We're gonna pick 7 right now. Okay.
Yeah,
and this
let's
is the
pick
World
7.
Cup. This is the jet to Qatar, right?
Yeah, part of me wants to do the Monica.
These guys are sleeping in like the pods, right? Isn't that what you do when you go to the Middle East? You sleep in the giant pod, like you're in the super fancy. You don't know about
Sure.
this. Which one is this? Emirates? Somebody tell me which airlines have like.
Oh,
the
those. Yeah, those are
pods.
pretty badass. Those are
Yeah.
pretty badass. I've watched Casey Neistat do those kind of things on YouTube.
There's something that you can put on YouTube. Jared's watched people do
Oh,
it.
dude, yeah, my algorithm is so dialed in. If my kids ever watch a single video on my YouTube, there's hell to pay because they've already ruined my Netflix. Oh, what's up, Nikki G?
I've also
Whoa.
watched Casey Neistat.
Oh my god.
We're on the
See,
same
that's what
page.
That's what I'm talking about.
What is happening?
One person here is not down with the kids, and
Nah,
it's
look,
this
man,
guy
I'm
over here.
I'm over on.
Who would imagine the guy with the white in his beard doesn't watch YouTube?
I'm over on TikTok watching guys do trim and
You're
stuff.
over on TikTok stitching. I've seen you. You're
I've
stitching
stitched
stuff.
a little bit. What?
No, duetting.
What?
You're duetting. I'm sorry. You're duetting.
Did I duet?
You're duetting.
I've duetted
done
like
some
one
duets.
time. I've done one or
Yeah,
two duets.
I
have
saw
a,
it.
I have an incredible idea for. Wait for my next TikTok to drop as soon as I get my production elements
shoot.
together because I got a killer idea.
Oh,
Anyway,
shoot.
it doesn't matter.
Wait for it to
I've done,
drop.
I've done some duets, but my kids will not let me post them publicly, so they are saved
Your
privately.
kids got nothing to do with it. Come on, you're an
They
adult
don't
human
want
being.
me posting anything publicly.
I've got my kid into Bon Jovi.
You're an adult. All right,
Nice.
let's go through this real quick. Now, this is the plane to Qatar. We're not talking
No,
about.
we're talking about friendlies this summer. We're talking about friendlies this summer. We're talking
Oh,
about
you
roster.
wa-
We're
you
talking
wanna
about
talk
roster
about-
because
okay, all right.
that's what is the conversation right now because there's so much weirdness happening.
Okay,
you
well,
know?
so I have to ask you: you got 7? You're putting Malik Tillman on this after he's the rumored name that's coming into this camp.
I'm not. I
not
don't
putting
see
it
why.
into
I don't see
7.
why. I don't see why you're bringing a Bundesliga second squad player. Now you were talking about last week about caps and predatory caps. How is this not a predatory cap to bring a Bayern Munich
He's not going to
B
cap him.
team player?
He's not going to cap him. He's not going to cap
Okay,
him.
all right.
He's
okay,
going to
you're
put him
right.
in.
It's not-
He's going to bring.
He's not going to play
tomorrow-
Nations League. Is what you're saying?
No, he's not going to play in the Nations League. Tillman will be there. He might play he might make an appearance in one of the 2 friendlies. I
So
don't
people
even
are
know he'll
asking
do
in the
that.
chat who's Malik Tillman. Do we want to fill in people in on who Malik Tillman is?
Malik Tillman is a dual national who's in the Bayern Munich,
Bayern Munich
system right
system.
now.
Yeah,
he's got a
Julian
brother
Greenpoint
named Timothy.
2.0.
Yeah, I think that's reductive as hell, but
He's
sure.
also
you
playing
wanna
for the
go-
German youth teams
He's
as well.
played for the German youth national teams. He is currently 19. He'll turn 20 in a week and a half. He turns 20 at the end of the month. So he's almost 20. He's been largely in Bayern Munich's second team. I don't know, scored a handful of goals, and he's been in the German youth program since.
Sometimes
he
there's
was
people there's
15.
besties out there that just get me. Jackie D in the chat saying Terrence Boyd has twice the goals Malik has.
I don't have
They
time.
might
for
play in the
this.
same league for all I know. Where does Bayern Munich 2 play right now?
It's a good question, actually.
They may play in the same. She may actually not be kidding. She may actually have facts on this.
Yeah, the regional. I don't know how to say it. Regional Liga.
If Terrence Boyd has more goals than Malik Tillman, do you bring Malik Tillman or Terrence Boyd?
You bring Malik Tillman because he's 19
His
and has a
future?
future. Terrence
Wow,
Boyd
you just
had
said
his
Terrence Boyd
shot.
has a future. Wow.
He had his shot. Okay, so you're saying 7 of these, and you're not talking
7.
about
Let's go.
Tillman,
Let's go with the chalks
All right.
first. That these
Okay.
people who are healthy.
and
Pulisic is chalk.
healthy chalk. Healthy chalk is Christian Pulisic. Healthy chalk, right?
Healthy chalk is Brendan Aronson. There's
Brendan
2.
Aronson is healthy chalk.
Healthy chalk is Jesus Ferreira.
Jesus Ferreira is healthy chalk. Do you want me to debut the drop now, or do
Oh.
you want to wait for this?
Oh, do we have a drop?
Look, so we don't really have hard and fast rules on when we decide to give somebody a drop. Like sometimes it's like you earn it, right? Oh my God, look at he did this amazing thing. He did something for the national team. He has earned himself a drop. Like,
Sometimes your
at one
name's just
point-
Jesus.
Sometimes your name is just Jesus. I don't think I have Smooth Operator on the board, but once upon a time, before
Oh, yeah.
2017, before the world turned against him, Michael Bradley had a drop, and it was Sade singing Smooth Operator because he was, in fact, a smooth operator.
There was a time where not just his head was smooth.
And obviously, we got this one.
Already
Which is for
talked about
Christian
him?
Pulisic.
Already
Yeah,
talked
Christian
about
Pulisic. So I don't like he's going to be in the national team picture, provided he's healthy. He's leading the Golden Boot race in Major League Soccer. He's rising into his own at FC Dallas. He just beat Jared's boys this weekend with a couple of goals. It is Jesus Ferreira. Now, we're both of a certain age, and The Big Lebowski is an incredible movie. So
You said it, man. Nobody with the Jesus.
there it is, Jesus, John Turturro from
And he knew
Big Lebowski.
that one of the best Mexican actors of our time, John Turturro.
I don't know. Do you think that's something that upsets Mexican Americans? Like, oh my God, that
Oh,
guy.
he's such a
look at
cool
that.
character. I just can't picture
John
anyone else
Turturro.
playing him, I guess, because he's just like so right for it. But okay.
Maybe.
Anyway,
Maybe.
so we got Pulisic, Aronson, Jesus Ferreira, Timothy Weah.
Timothy
Chalk.
Weah is absolutely in there as a lock. He's a
Those
chalk.
may be the only 4 chalks. What do you think? Is there another chalk?
Man, I mean, well, then you're just
Is-
picking
is
from the
PFOC
center
chalk?
forward pod. Man, is PFOC chalk? Ugh.
We got 3 positions left.
Yeah, probably PFOC is chalk because he's the only
There's 5.
center forward who's scoring. And
Now we're talking
blah,
about
blah,
2
blah.
more potential
I
players.
think-
One of
look,
them has to be wide.
I know no one's convinced anymore, but Pepe is chalk. Pepe is in. Pepe's there. I know. I'm sorry.
dude.
I forgot. Berhalter already said that Pepe needs a mental break, so he's not going to be in this.
Because I don't see you taking Ferreira, Pifok, and Pepe with two spots left, you're going to take Haji Wright.
If Pepe's not there, we know Wright's going to be there. So
That's
now
6.
I'm at 6.
That means you
If
need one
Pifok's
wide
there.
player. You need no Pifok's already in. So we have
I
one more
know.
position. It needs to be a wide position because you got 2 on the left and Plisic and Aronson. You have this way on the right, which means Areola, Morris. Who's the guy that's coming in on that wide position? Is there someone else I haven't thought of just yet? Morris is not looking good as yet. I mean, I know he looked good in the CCL final, but regular league, dude's missing chances, man.
Yeah, well, I don't think you want him to be a starter, and I don't know necessarily if he comes on the field. He's
And
not
you
your
know that
game-changing
Berhalter likes what
goal scorer.
Areola brings.
It's probably Areola, who does look good for Dallas. He scored against your boys, as I mentioned.
Obviously,
Dallas
not in the
being
conversation.
Dallas.
Gio Reyna, not in the conversation.
No,
so don't
he's
bring
not
it
healthy.
up.
No, it's not healthy. Yeah, if he was healthy, he'd be in there, and he'd probably push out Areola. Now, look, I know people are saying no to Pifok. Okay, fine. Guys, give me somebody else. Who is it?
Show me another 20-goal scorer.
Is it Brendan Vasquez? Is it Brendan Vasquez? I mean, who is it? Because I don't know who it is. Who's the other center forward? We're not talking about another wide player.
If you don't bring Pifok, you bring Pepe probably, and you're not. And I don't think Pepe comes in this. I don't think he comes in this window. I think Berhalter's right. Dude needs to get his crap together.
If you want a wild card, if it's not Areola, and again, you have to have it. So if you got 3 center forwards, it's possible it could be Ferreira and Wright. I don't think it's going to be Ferreira.
Now
and Wright.
here's where the conversation comes in. I got 7 fingers up. I'm gonna take one down, and that name is Jordan Pifok. Do you take that finger down so you can fill it with Malik Tillman? So there's your pick your poison, Jason. Is it
No,
Jordan Pifok,
I think,
or is it Malik Tillman?
I think that if Berhalter brings Tillman in, I think if he brings Tillman in, he's probably sacrificing Areola and not Pifok.
That coward's
would be
way out.
my
I gave you a to pick your poison. Pifok or Tillman?
Tillman, I guess. I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to do?
I don't necessarily disagree with you, but here's the thing: if you're Jordan Pifok and you
That's
watch
terrible.
them bring in a Bayern Munich 2 player, doesn't that just kill everything? Every bit of chances you feel you have for this national team?
No, not necessarily, because lots of shit can change between now
Pepe's
and
not
November.
coming, and so instead of you getting to try to feature for this position, they're bringing in an 18-year-old.
Well, again, they don't play similarly at all, so I don't know why you would think about them necessarily as interchangeable. But Pifok, the answer to this question, I feel bad saying it because it's harsh, but dude, you want to be in the team? Finish your chance against Mexico. Do it, like score.
That's legit, dude. That's a legit
But
take.
it might not be Tillman. I mean, I know I've seen the rumor out there. Somebody tell me where it comes from, because I don't even know what the sourcing on this is. And I'm not saying it's not Tillman. I just don't know for sure. There are other dual nationals who are sort of bouncing around. Balogun's been mentioned as getting ready to make some decision, but he hasn't done it. I don't know that he wants to. Maybe it's not him, but
Again,
Balogun.
he's not getting first team minutes either.
He plays in Middlesbrough on loan. He's gotten way more minutes at a high level than Tillman does.
Okay, but that's what
Like
championship?
a lot. Yes, Middlesbrough's in the championship. He's actually pretty decent for them. Not a ton of goals, but he creates some chances. He's also a player who, he is a center forward, but also likes the ball at his feet. So he's not a back-to-goal center forward, which this is what this team is missing, right? A back-to-goal center forward you can trust on any level at all. Because I love Jesus Ferreira, and he's probably the answer as a starter right now for the national team, because who else is scoring goals? But he's not a back-to-goal center forward, is he?
I don't think in this 4-3-3 you need to have that. I really don't.
Maybe you don't, but I like the change-up option, right? I like to have that option. You're not getting the sort of runs necessarily off a
Listen,
center
I don't want to
forward
put the cart before the horse, but Haji Wright's a big body. That dude's big.
No, that's true, and maybe it is Haji Wright, but
He's
Haji
thin,
hasn't
but he's
been.
big.
He hasn't been around. Like, it's so odd. I don't know. Again, there are going to be guys who will get dropped into this team out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, I didn't. He was okay. let's go. Like, you're just going to have to, like, roll with what you got. I get it, but it's not, it doesn't make me comfortable, right? It doesn't make me comfortable at all.
No, but it makes me excited. And I didn't feel excited about the striker position a month ago. Right now, I feel kind of excited. Like, there's dude coming in that looks like maybe he can do some stuff, And I'm not going to lie, doesn't hurt that he's a Galaxy Academy product. I got a little vested interest in him. But I'm excited that maybe there's something or a chance. I'm more excited about Jesus Ferreira than any other striker option, though. I'll be honest with you. I've been on this train for a couple months now.
Okay, but don't you feel as though it's not impossible? And like, we've seen him with the Nationals. It's not like we don't have some sort of data to use here. But don't you think that the way this team plays doesn't take the advantage of what Jesus Ferreira is good at? Like, truly. And I'm not saying he has to score goals all the time, because I know he can be a facilitator dropping deep and having...
That's the part I like about it.
Okay.
What I'm worried most about with Jesus Ferreira is that I don't know that he is a clinical finisher on half opportunities. I think a lot of his goals for Dallas, they're legit opportunities. Like not like things are half chances.
Well, how about we just create some legit opportunities and not leave it to half chances? How about we do that? Can we do
that? For sure.
Is that
but
an
I
idea?
also think him on the field puts Timothy Weah and Christian Pulisic in better positions than any other striker. I think he gets them into better positions, and I think that's worth it to put him on the field.
Well, if you're pulling a center back, you're using Jesus Ferreira dropping to pull players out of the middle, and then you've isolated Pulisic or Weah, and they're creating opportunities for cutbacks or for crosses across the face of goal, and you've got guys arriving. Sure, I suppose. And obviously, Jesus Ferreira, with the ball at his feet, can do some things too. I'm not trying to.
Let's
just
not
turn
forget
him into
that
a decoy.
Christian Pulisic a couple times for Chelsea lately has played in the middle and looked pretty good. I kind of like that.
I watched some of the FA Cup final where he was, after they took off Lukaku.
Yeah.
Everybody was gassed. Like, nobody could move at that point. I mean, a couple of subs came on and just, you could see the difference.
Right before he got subbed, he came up and he looked like he was like a little bit knock. I'm like, oh, not you two, son.
Yeah. I would have loved to have seen him take a penalty, though. I mean, he's become so clinical for the U.S. national
5 for 5
team,
the U.S. national team,
but he hasn't had a chance to impact any games from the penalty spot for Chelsea. And I get he's not going to be their main penalty taker. I understand that part. But when you get to penalty kicks, and I don't blame Tuchel for taking. He went 105 minutes. It's not like he didn't get a full chance, and he was, outside of. I don't know, the game was 0-0 for so long and all those things. Like, it just...
Let's do a quick yes/no right here, and this is from Jackie again. She says, should Pepe, Hoppy, and Sargent all just come to back to MLS? Yes, no on
Hold
Pepe.
on.
Okay.
So let's turn this... Well, okay, I can frame it up a little different. I guess it's really not a binary, right? Because there are maybe other options besides coming to MLS that are not staying where they are. Because staying where they are is not.
How about this?
Right?
Move or stay? Is that a better thing to say?
Wow. Sure. Let's do a mover. Let's do a mover stay. We're gonna keep it binary.
Now the Augsburg, they get relegated or they make it?
They stayed up. No, they stayed up. They stayed up.
So in that case, Pepe, no, he should stay. Fight for your spot.
Well. Is he going to play a ton in the Bundesliga next year after what happened in the second half
I don't
this
know,
year?
but I don't. Man, I don't see him as the national team starter right now.
Okay, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have a place in the national team. It just means he's not the guy.
If he has a place, it's because no one else is doing well, not because he is.
Sure, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you.
But here's the thing: if he let's say he goes, give me another league. Let's say he goes to Rangers in Scotland.
You know what the perfect situation for Ricardo Pepi is? He goes on loan to the Netherlands somewhere.
For sure, but what do you always say about the Netherlands?
They can't play defense, but I don't care about that with him.
If he scores 5 goals to start the season in the first 2 months,
confidence.
You're going to say,
I know,
but you're going to say those are 5 Netherlands goals.
No, maybe in his case, I probably won't. On this timeline with this team in this moment, I probably won't say that. Or if I'd say it, if I said it, I'll say I don't care right now because we need somebody who's confident and can score some goals. And I do believe in him. Like I do think he's going to come.
What you're saying is that he needs a rebound chick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Doesn't have to be a chick, by the way, but yeah, I think he needs
a rebound partner.
I think he needs somebody to give him some confidence. Like somebody needs to give him some chances. Alfredo is asking about DK. DK is hurt, and West Brom has shut him down. He's not coming to the camp. It's not happening.
I wouldn't say they're going to let him anywhere near a camp this summer.
And I'm sure Berhalter has agreed to that. Like, there's no reason if Berhalter West Brom wouldn't make that statement. Unless
Unfortunately,
Berhalter was like
outside
that.
of a amazing start to the season next year, I think DK's out for the World Cup. I
think that's probably true.
It would
I think
take
it's probably
something
true.
really, really stellar.
And by the way, these guys are all like 20 and 21. They're going to have another shot. It's just not going to be right now. And that sucks because we don't have any better options, right? We don't have a 28-year-old striker
I don't think anyone's
who's
been
dumping in goals.
outside of Gio Reyna. I don't think anyone's been more snake bit with injuries than Daryl DK over the last
Man,
year.
this is going to be wild. We're going to get to the end of the summer. We're going to get into the early part of the fall. We're going to see if anybody in Europe starts scoring goals. And we'll get to those other choices here with stay or go. And you and I, we're going to be doing pick your poisons on, like, let's say Gyasi Zardes scores like 6 goals in the first at the end of the MLS season, like just into the playoffs. So he scores on a run and scores 6 and 10 or something like that. And none of these European guys are scoring goals. It's going to be a question whether or not Gyasi Zardes should be in this team. It's going to be a question.
I don't think it'll get there because Gyasi Zardes isn't even playing well.
No, not now. I'm saying if he gets 6 and 10 down the stretch for the Rapids or something dumb. And again, I'm not saying it means he should
That's
be
the
in
last
team.
thing we need is have Gregg Berhalter to be enabled. You know,
All right, so the other two choices
Matthew Hoppe
stay or
was
go.
next. For Matthew Hoppe, for me,
That's a get the out of here. Get
this
out.
is like
go.
he needs to be like Leonardo DiCaprio and Catch
Run.
Me If You Can. I don't care.
Just-
Write a fake check, dress up like a pilot, get the hell out of Spain.
Change your name, okay? No, I'm not Matthew Hoppe. I'm Mathieu, somebody French. Hoppe. And I've got to get out of here and go somewhere and play soccer anywhere else.
Get to Atlanta,
but
son.
that club.
Get to Atlanta.
I don't think it has to. I know the question was about MLS. I don't think it has to be MLS. But here's the thing about the way the schedule is working for the World Cup. There's value in coming to MLS because you get to play through the summer. You don't have to sit and wait until the new season starts. So you don't have to work your way into a team where a coach might not right away give you a shot. You don't, if you do make a move, you don't have to try to figure out how to get playing time in a team you're already stuck in. You get a new team. They're an MLS team, so they're going to look at you and go, "Oh, you're a U.S. international? Get the hell in our lineup." And you're going to get minutes. You're going to play. I mean, Chris Mueller did nothing in Scotland. I think he sat there and ate haggis for 6 months, and he's popping up in that Chicago team. And although they didn't win the game, they lost to Nick's boys. He looks bright. He dribbled 3 dudes in the box to create a chance for Chicago. There's something I don't know what that is.
He's got a Z in the side of his head these days. What's he got? He got
Probably. He's a Chicago boy too, so maybe he's just feeling the home cooking.
I've told you that. I just think he looks like the professor, right, from And One.
He does have a little bit of that. Which, by the way, if we had the time, do we have the time? We give that out. We give that out for, let's see, I think Jesus Ferreira just for the collection that he put together. Douglas Costa gets one, even though it was in a losing effort.
I don't think it was an baby though.
No, you don't think Douglas Costa's goal?
He put it in the side. It was all right.
No, it was little, razzle dazzle off the
I'm
training
sorry.
ground.
With the way he's tripping over the ball these days, he needs to do more for me than just that. I
No,
give
that's
more
true.
respect to Sasha Christian for the back heel than I do.
Christian Roldan, whose name has not come yet up yet on the national team picture, but Christian Roldan gets an old baby for his goal. Anyway,
All right, last name on that list was Josh Sargent.
Run from Norwich.
Really?
Get out of Norwich.
I know that.
Run.
Isn't he going to get a lot more opportunities now with them going down?
Maybe, but run. I just think that you were part of that team playing that bad and getting relegated. How long have they been relegated? A month and a half? Yeah. They've been basically relegated for the entire second half of the Premier League season. I mean, it feels that way. Everybody knew they were going down. I just think there's so many bad feelings there, and they don't want to play him where. Okay, I know there's a whole discussion about whether Josh Sargent is actually a forward. He should be playing somewhere else. Obviously, he's been playing wide for Norwich. I want him to play center forward on a regular basis and get a shot to prove whether he can do that or not. If that's the championship with Norwich, fine. Do it. If they're going to give you a shot at center forward in the championship, then stay. But otherwise, get the hell out of Norwich. Go somewhere else.
Just real quick, while we were talking about that Galaxy Dallas game, if you want to see why Jesus Ferreira is important to the national team, it's not just that his name's on the score sheet. He was consistently pulling Derek Williams off the back line over and over again. And Williams going into that space. I mean, and then he's back on the back end of the play, and
then he's making the run. Yeah.
That's what Ferreira brings. If he scores, that's great. It's pulling that defender out of
Yeah.
position and creating space for the Tim Weahs to go into, for the Christian Pulisics to run into.
Yeah,
That's what he brings.
For a Weston McKennie or somebody else to run off his shoulder, like those things. Yeah, those things are there.
By the way, I
for
know
sure.
there was talks that Juventus might get him back for the last couple of games of the season. It's not
Hasn't
happening
happened.
now, right? Okay.
Doesn't look like it. I mean, if we wanted to do a quick list,
You think
of
he's in the
everybody
summer?
who's-
You think we could see him
who's
this
shut
summer?
down. I haven't seen enough. I know he's been in training. I know he's been in training, and they released shots of him wearing the new jersey, the new Juventus shirt. Have you seen the new
Dude,
Juventus
and-
shirt?
okay, now that I see the jersey, okay, I told you my Jeep's on order, right? Like I got factory order. I've made my custom Jeeps on order,
Sounds like such a euphemism for something else. That guy's my Jeep's on order.
and I didn't get the 4xe. I didn't get the 4xe. I went with the V6, right? And now
What that
I see the
means.
jersey. I'm like, man, I should have got the 4xe to support my boy.
Oh, because they got the
And
Jeep
and
logo
and,
with
and the Earth, and the Earth.
yeah, sure. You
But
care
my
about the
boy.
Earth. Yeah, okay. Caring about the Earth and it does kind of look like tire tracks. Like it got like they got
I
run
think
over.
Nick's got it ready. Nicky got it ready,
Yeah.
or he kind of had it ready.
Yeah, we've got some. There it is. Yeah.
Wait, I thought
So
I thought it had the 4xe on it.
It has like an electric. The Jeep logo has like a weird blue lightning thing happening.
Yeah, I thought some of it had. Is those treads? Are the stripes treads?
They're not. They're like triangles that are made to look like they're combined triangles to look like that. But they do look like treads, right? So maybe,
They do
maybe
look
they're
like
supposed
treads.
to. But that's the thing about like what kind of message are you sending? Like, yes, we're sponsored by Jeep. Look at our treads, or we got run over by a Jeep.
They got run over by Inter and AC Milan.
Well, that did happen, right? that did happen. So
I think maybe we see Wes McKinney this summer. I think maybe we do.
I hope so. I think he should
I
be
mean,
in the camp.
Wouldn't
even if you don't
Juventus want
play
him to get into shape before the season starts? I would guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but I don't know. I mean,
You got
that's
those
the thing,
Italian
like,
players; they ain't doing anything this summer. So
What's
they
the
don't-
list? What's the list of players who got shut down? And I know that doesn't mean they can't be in the June camp, but list of players who got shut down.
from injury or what?
Yeah, from injury, shut down for the rest of the season. I mean, you put
Oh,
McKennie
you
on the
got
list if he
DK?
doesn't play. DK. No, I don't even talk about him. He's not even in the team. He wasn't in the
Weston
national
McKennie,
team. McKennie, Dash,
Chris Richards.
Chris Richards.
Let's see who else are we.
I'm missing
who are we
somebody
missing?
else. Somebody else got shut down.
Reyna.
Giovanni Reyna.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And now Miles Robinson is done, right? That's
I mean,
not,
Dest got shut down, but that was by Xavi for other reasons.
no. I think he had an injury and it was an excuse to shut him down. But yeah, right.
Matt Turner for a while.
Well, he's back. He's not shut
Yeah.
down for the and made some good saves. Made
By
some
the way, for this roster coming up, Matt Turner,
yeah,
Zach Steffen,
yeah.
and
Stephen Fry. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I just don't. I just don't get
It's
why
probably
Stephen Fry
Gaga.
wasn't
Like-
ever in the conversation for years now.
It's probably Gaga, even though Gaga
That's
had
what
a
I'm talking
terrible
about.
giveaway this weekend. Like
17 is
the
going to
kid.
happen.
Is it? Yeah, I guess it is.
Yes.
But I mean, it's funny. Like, oh, Gaga, get him in the team. Don't lose him to Poland. Oh, he makes that mistake. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Zach Steffen does it. In an FA Cup semifinal. Bench his ass. No, I'm just kidding. It's different. I know it's different. It's just funny.
17 years old. I barely knew how to neck. The guy's going to drop a ball here or there.
Well, start by not calling it neck, because
That's what my parents called it.
that's gross. That's just gross. Like, neck.
Morgan's typing right now. I don't want to know what it's going to be.
Morgan showed up just to make us feel old. That is what's happening here. So, all right. So we've gone through the center back situation with Miles Dunn. We've talked about Jesus Ferreira and his form. We gave some thoughts about Pulisic did score midweek. He had that too, which was a very nice, well taken goal. I don't know. I think he's fine. Like I'm not.
I just feel like
I'm
he
not
needs to pull the
concerned.
trigger earlier. That's what I'm like. You're watching the FA Cup. There's a couple of them just like pull the trigger earlier. I don't know, cleaner on the finish. I mean, there's one in the first half that just rolled by the outside post. I felt like he could have put that on goal. I don't know. Just it needs to be a little bit tighter.
Well, there's a stay and go question for him too. I think we've already talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Rudiger's going to go.
A lot of it has to
so-
do with the price and will
There's
and can Chelsea sell players?
Oh, they're going to be able to because Bowley's taking over. They're going to be fine on that front. But there's that. By the way, there's also rumors out there that Dest could go to Chelsea if Azpilicueta leaves for Barcelona, which looks like it's going to probably happen because Xavi wants Azpilicueta. He doesn't want Dest. He's given Dest
is Reece
permission to
James
leave.
staying?
I don't know. I don't know what Reece James' status is.
I mean,
but
do you want Dest in a competition against Reece James? I don't know if I do. I think Regime's
Well, I
a
mean,
better player.
I think what we know at this point with Barcelona is that while Xavi is okay playing Dest if he has to, he would rather not.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, get out. Like, get out. Just go somewhere else. Go.
You want to
find
see
another-
Pulisic in a Jeep jersey?
I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it.
I'd like to see what he could do in Italy.
I mean,
Do you want to see Chiellini in a YouTube TV jersey?
Chiellini.
Whatever.
They're not
Whatever.
YouTube TV anymore.
I don't know.
They still-
That team sucks. I don't know what they
What
have.
what I want, and I said this
Screw
on,
that
on
team.
Twitter. What I want is that if Chiellini does sign that deal and joins LAFC, that when they get him to America, the first thing they do is take him out for pizza with ranch. That's the first thing you do.
What's their sponsor these days? Like a fedora company? What is it?
Who, LAFC?
Yeah.
They're in your. You don't know? They're in your town.
What?
It's
Why would I pay any attention to them?
because they're better than your team. How about that? How about
That's
that?
not saying much.
It's not. Yes, it is. It's. I mean.
Oh, if they're better than me, then how come they didn't beat us in the derby?
Oh, there it is. Oh.
Oh, by the way, you excited for that Open Cup matchup? Those two teams? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I don't know that I want that.
You think it's
in
going to
an
have
Open Cup.
the edge that it normally has? You think they'll play starters?
Flex.
I think
Flex
Vanny
is
takes the
their
Open Cup.
sponsor, though. By the way,
And what the frick is that?
I believe they're power tools. I think they're like. I think Flex is a.
At least
power
some
tool
teams
company.
have the good decency to have a pyramid scheme on their shirt. That's MLS 2.0.
You guys were trailblazers on the pyramid scheme front. Oh, was it you or RSL? Who
I
was
saw
first?
Django or Zango or whatever. Someone else had another one. I can't remember what it was, but
There
we're
was
the
a couple
OGs,
out there.
baby.
Oh, San Jose had the pyramid scheme company. They had Amway on their joints for a while.
yeah.
Amway
I mean,
out
what's
there.
next? Avon?
Oh my gosh, some Mary Kay out there, some prepaid legal.
Dude, that would be pretty hot though. A pink jersey, Mary Kay.
Oh,
just
yeah, we
saying.
got pink jerseys. We
Hey,
don't need
Miami.
the pyramid scheme part of it. We can do without that. But multi-level marketing is what that is. Yeah. There's a whole discussion about multi-level marketing in the Bestie Slack. Various people's families have been involved.
By the way, did you get a chance to? I didn't know it was happening, and so after the fact, I heard about it, and I was like, man, I wish I had known about that. I totally would have tuned in for it. Did you watch any of the Herc and Sebastian
I did.
with the
I did.
wraparound? What a great concept! I love that
did.
concept.
They called it a goal cast. It
I
was.
think Herc's is 7 hours or something like that. They were on the
It
air.
was like 7 hours. Yeah, it was
basically
just
they
a
did. I didn't see it, but they did Red Zone for Open Cup, basically.
Pretty much. They were sitting in lounge chairs, so it was a pretty relaxed environment. They were just basically shooting the shit.
Oh, Morgan
And they
watched the
would
whole
ha-
thing. Morgan, I know you just got your game. Do you want to come on the air, or you
They
rather
would-
not?
They would have. I don't know what that was. Was that a yes or a no? That's like your generation? I can't decide. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I said that. That's not true at all. You can put it
Morgan,
on.
you watched 7 hours of that?
I did. I watched the entire thing.
My lord. Okay, so
well, I
what
was
do you
gonna
think
be
of it?
watching
Because
it anyway.
You know what you should have done?
so, but
I don't know-
instead of
I don't know if
watching
you're
the actual
dating anybody.
games, okay, go
I
ahead.
don't know if you're dating anybody right now, but if you were, that's the test. You sit him down and go, I want to watch this show and see how long the guy lasts before he's like, no, I can't do this anymore. I'm out. I can't watch any more Open Cup.
My wife can
soccer."
last one half of soccer.
Stop. I'm on the air with you right now.
All right, Morgan. So
That's what? Not what? No.
did you
Oh my
instead
God.
of watching a game, you watched this instead?
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us, what was it like?
So I was planning to watch it anyway, but I didn't really know which game to watch. So whenever I watch UCL, I always watch the whip around show. It just makes things easier. And they were fantastic. Their banter with each other is super good, very lively. They like to make fun of each other, so that was always interesting. And then
What's that like? Why do people do that on their shows? I don't
but,
get that at all.
Yeah, right.
Making
Huh,
fun of
crazy.
each other? That's terrible. That's terrible, Jared.
Right.
I would never do it.
Yeah, but they had guests throughout the show,
Yeah, I watched-
basically old teammates, which was really cool, and they had that good dynamic because they knew them personally.
Tell me you
where
brought
they were very
tell me you brought
open.
Simon Elliott on the show.
No, they had. I saw
They had
Sebastian
Danny
Letou.
Cruz. They had
Danny
Sebo,
Cruz?
too. Yeah,
Danny
Cruz.
Cruz,
They
whose
had-
team at Louisville won in
Yep.
Detroit. Mm-hmm. Who else
They had someone right off the field from.
They had Henry Kessler from New England after they won.
Yeah, and someone on the field from one of the last games.
I'm
And,
just happy to see. First of
saw
all, like,
Harksey, too.
This is the most interested I've been in the Open Cup in a lot of years, because
this also
the
hasn't been around.
ESPN access, the ESPN Plus access.
And it's going away.
I know.
ESPN is going away from the Open Cup.
But why would you put the dollars into it right now then? If it's just going to go away, like I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't know. You want to know why? I mean, okay, there's a couple things. One, I think that Sebi and Herc have done a good job with their show, and I think it has caught people's attention, and they're probably doing better streaming-wise than ESPN expected. And so they have some clout. They can say, hey, and I don't think firing up the cameras and doing those things, I mean, it costs money, but it doesn't cost network broadcast money. Like, it doesn't cost ESPN Live money. It costs turn two cameras on. Now, they do have to hook up everything, but with Zoom and all that stuff, I'm not saying it's easy. You know, when we've tried to do things like that in the past, like when we were messing around with back heel and all that stuff years ago, Jared, it was hard, but they have a staff.
We also were ESPN.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's those guys. I think you give credit to those guys for
I absolutely want to. I'm probably going to tune in next time because I just love the concept. I wish I had heard about it. That's the biggest thing I think is that the marketing needs to get out there to kind of know what's happening. But
you need to follow more American soccer Twitter accounts, then.
It was all over.
I follow
that's a bubble.
I follow enough.
No, it's a bubble. Well, he's not living on Twitter like some people, but
well, back in the day, I used to
at me next time, okay? That's my job.
Yeah. I mean,
thanks, Morgan. By the way, did you win?
We did win.
What position did you play?
Right back.
Nice, like a gentlewoman.
Sweet.
There you go.
I feel like your parents failed in not turning you into a left back, though. Left back is where it's at.
And my mom's a lefty.
I know, that's terrible. I'm gonna force Thiago to play with his left foot. I'm just gonna make him do it. I don't know how. Tie his right foot behind him or something. I don't know how you do that. I'm just gonna make him play with his left foot.
There you go.
Force him to. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Morgan.
You're gonna be a left back. You're gonna be a left back.
So yeah, I'm interested in that. I think I'm gonna try to give that some time and actually look at it because, like, it's for some reason I'm far more interested in the Open Cup this year just because I have access.
Well, okay, so a couple of things about the Open Cup. Number one, I was into it in 2019, which I believe was the first year that ESPN had all the access, and you could go from game to game to game to game. So I'm watching games in Idaho, and I'm watching games in Texas, and I'm watching games in Florida, and it wasn't a whip around. I had to choose, but that was there through ESPN Plus. Then we had the pandemic. Then we had another year canceled because of the pandemic. Yeah. So this is the first year back since 2019. I think that is a reason why I'm more interested.
I'll add this as well. Yeah, this as well. Since 2019, there's now the Hulu involvement as well. I go on Hulu and the games are there. Like, I wasn't even looking for soccer one day, and I just opened up Hulu.
And there's all that crossover. Yeah. Hulu with ESPN. Yeah, sometimes you're on Hulu like, I'm going to watch How I Met Your Mother. Not that.
That is why I go there.
Just kidding. Yeah, that's Morgan's favorite show. And then you see like live soccer. You're like, oh yeah, I can watch this
that's an
right
option.
Here. I could choose that. Yeah, shout out to Herc and Sebastian. I already said I'm lobbying to get on the show next year. I don't know what purpose I would serve because I didn't play in the Open Cup, and I'm not on site. No, they're the hosts. I'm saying I'm not trying to steal their gig as host. Obviously, that's Football Americas. That's not me. I still want to be on the show. Like, I still just want to go nuts.
Here's an interesting thing. I got an interesting. Can you pull up a list of the 32 teams that just went out? Okay, can you bring up the 32? Let me know when you got the round of 32.
That played in the last round. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, they're around of 32.
Okay, yes, I can give you every team that played in the round of 32. Yes.
Real quick, start naming them off and tell me, yes or no. Do you have a piece of memorabilia from that team that they sent you or behind you?
Oh, okay. This is interesting because this is going to be a lot of MLS.
Give me a name and I'll say yes or no, and then you'll give me the real answer.
Okay.
The MLS one's probably going to be every one of them. I think will probably be yes. Which is why I didn't do the 16 because I think there's only 3 non-MLS teams left or something like that in the 16.
There are only 3 non-MLS teams left. Okay. Orlando beat Philadelphia.
You got both.
Oops, that's the wrong one. I do have both. Louisville beat Detroit City.
I know you got Detroit City, and I think you have Louisville as well, so I'm going to say yes.
Well, the only thing about Louisville is I might not have new Louisville stuff. I do have the. Well, this is the old logo.
Well, still, you got it.
It's the old logo, but I do have Louisville City stuff, yes. DC United lost to the Red Bulls.
Oh, please, yes.
I have DC stuff.
You may not have Red Bulls, actually, now I think about it. Do you have Red Bulls anything?
I don't know.
You have to. I'm going to assume it's yes. If you don't have it up, you probably have been sent something at some point.
Not by the Red Bulls themselves. No, I don't believe the Red Bulls have ever sent me anything.
All right, so that might be our first blank.
I think that might be a buzzer.
Someone in New York or New Jersey is sleeping.
Inter Miami and South Georgia Tormenta.
There's no way you have South Georgia Tormenta.
I have a South Georgia Tormenta pin somewhere.
Oh my God!
Because I've been to USL events and I've met people from the club, not because.
So it's
they
like
sent me
Disneyland.
stuff.
You switch pins with people and try to collect them all,
Well,
like Pokemon.
no, they hand you the pin. You go, oh, thanks for that. That's great. I have a pin now.
But you got Miami, right?
I don't have any Miami stuff.
Wow, really?
I'm not fancy enough. I'm not flashy enough for Miami to be sending.
But you
stuff
went
to
down
me.
to Florida like at least once or twice in the last couple of years. I thought maybe you would have caught something while you were down there.
I never went down to Miami. I haven't been to Miami in
Tampa, huh?
in like 8 or 9 years at this point. I need to get to Miami again. Sporting Kansas City, FC Dallas. That would be a
you're
yes
good.
on both of those things. I had the Sporting Kansas City whiskey, and then they did another batch this year. I
They
didn't
have
get another
whiskey?
bottle. Yeah, they have there's like a distiller in
Someone
distillery in
did
town.
wine. Was it Earthquakes that did wine? Someone did wine.
Maybe somebody did wine. LAFC Portland. That's a yes. I'm wearing a Portland shirt right now. I don't have an LAFC jersey. I have some T-shirts.
You got
and
stuff from them. I know you got stuff.
Yeah,
from them.
yeah.
I've seen you wear it.
Charlotte and Richmond.
I think you have Charlotte right behind you.
I
Richmond?
don't have
You
any
don't have
Richmond
kickers?
stuff. I don't have any Richmond. That's wild because
That's
it's like 2 hours down
surprising
the
to
road.
me. As much time as you do spend covering that league, that you don't have Richmond. If you're one of the
I don't
old
have-
school teams too.
It's USL League One these days. But yeah, I don't have any Richmond stuff. NYCFC and Rochester NYFC.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Is that the Rhinos now, or is that different?
It's the rebranded.
So if you have
Rhinos,
Rhinos, does that count?
I would count it, but I don't have Rhinos. I don't have any Rhinos.
Really?
stuff.
You don't have Rhinos, huh?
No, I have like various little NYCFC trinkets.
I remember
for
back
Jersey.
in the day, man, Rochester Rhinos were the most legit lower division team out there. Like,
Yeah.
they were so good. Like back in the day, they were so
Yeah, they
good.
were the
like in
last-
Open Cups.
The last lower division team to win the Open Cup in '99. They had Pat Onstad on that team in goal.
Yeah, they were really good. I think Dante Washington maybe played for them as well.
Might have. Rev Cincinnati. I have little things
Yeah,
maybe.
for
I don't have any
sure.
new. I don't have any new Revs logos. I don't have any Rev stuff. I really don't think I have any Rev stuff.
I don't think
Revs,
the fans
Revs
do
don't
either.
love me. The Revs don't love me at all.
Do you have anything FCC?
If you don't, Nick let you down.
I
Why would
don't.
I send it to them? It should be the club.
Yeah, well, yeah. If they choose to,
You can send him that
that's how it
sweatshirt.
works. I don't know if I have any FCC.
Have you noticed
stuff.
that? Did you notice Nick's propensity for wearing Cincinnati gear has gone way up in the last month?
I wonder why. When they're good, you want to rep. I get it.
Is his
I'm just as
background
shocked
and
as
his
everybody
sweater the
else.
same color?
It's pretty close.
So if you
Yeah,
put up like a
close.
green screen thing right now, you'd be like wearing the green screen, whatever
would.
image is.
Yeah,
I would.
It'd be like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Next round.
Nashville, Atlanta. I got stuff for both of those
Yeah.
teams. Union Omaha Hailstorm. I have a
The
Union
wait,
Omaha
say that
jersey.
again.
Union Omaha is a USL League One team.
Uh-huh.
Been around for a couple years. They've been pretty good. And the Northern Colorado Hailstorm is. An
I thought you were saying
expansion
that was
team.
all one team. I thought it
No,
was the
no.
Union Omaha Hailstorm.
No,
the
no,
Union
those are
Omaha,
two
is that the one that Matt Wolf did
Yes.
the design for? It looks really good. Okay.
The owl. He did. I think yes, he did.
That's
the
one
owl
of the that is one of the best looks in all of American soccer.
I think that is among the best. Absolutely. I think people might.
But you don't have
even
anything
think
from
so.
Hailstorm, do you?
No, not yet. It's possible I'll guess, but no, I don't have any Hailstorm stuff. Dynamo and San Antonio. I have San
By the way,
Antonio
that's,
stuff.
Hailstorm's not a very threatening name. What the best defense is an umbrella. You know, like
I mean,
it would be the same.
Hail can be like.
It's like if you're the Seattle Rain, but spelled it RAIN.
No, but hail can be a. Hail can like bust up your stuff, man. Hail can kill your car. Hail can hurt you for sure. Hail can be bad.
Okay.
Yeah, come on. It's not about
I've
that.
never
in American
seen
soccer.
it. I don't know.
It's not about that in American soccer. I'm going to burn through these because now I'm bored with this. Houston, I don't think so. San Antonio, yes. Sounders, yeah, but not.
Of course.
I don't know what I got. San Jose for sure. Sacramento Republic, yes.
Your hometown.
Phoenix Rising, yes. California United Strikers, no. LA Galaxy, yes. Minnesota United, maybe?
Wait, you skip over Cal United Striker?
No, I don't have
oh,
anything. Cal United
okay.
I don't have any Cal United Strikers, though.
But that's the same Cal United that made the run a while back, right? They just changed the name and added strikers to it. Isn't that the same Cal United that did when Alda
that's not-
coached?
I don't think that's Cal FC. Is it Cal FC?
Oh, it's
I
Cal
don't think
FC.
the
That's what it was. It was Cal FC.
No. Yeah. It's first of all, you were in a giant state.
Did you know they
Okay,
played a
not you.
15-year-old player
Yes, I do
against the
know that.
Galaxy?
He's the youngest player ever to score in the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah.
You're in a massive state. California is a massive state. There are many regions to said state. Don't call yourself California United if you're in Orange County. Please don't do that. It's very confusing. Nobody knows where you are.
Maybe they
You say
united
that.
with another team called Strikers, like the actual United,
No,
the way
but
it used to mean back in the day.
But do something more specific than
Yeah,
California.
there's one too many names. There's one too many
That's
names.
crazy.
There's one too many names there. But that's
Yeah,
I really
Minnes-
like the stadium they played in. That was kind of fun.
Minnesota and Colorado, yeah, I got stuff for them, I think. Minnesota, I'm not sure about, but Colorado, I definitely do. I get a bunch of dead club stuff, too. Don't act like I'm sitting here on like a treasure trove of all the hot clubs. City Islanders, they don't exist, not under that name. And then the name they do exist under, they're on hiatus because they're just not playing games right now. I got the Tulsa FC
Got
stuff.
the Diplomats
Tulsa.
back there.
Sorry, my bad. I've got Oklahoma City Energy shirts. They're on hiatus. They're not even playing games. Right
I need
there,
to go
I
on
got that
hiatus. I need hiatus.
OKC Energy, right there.
How do I get a
'cause
hiatus?
How do you get a hiatus?
Yeah, how do I get a hiatus?
You can take one. They just won't pay you. It's not like
Damn
it's
it, I wish
paid.
we were in Europe.
Yeah, right. Australia. They only get like a month and a half or something. They just dip
Good
out.
life down there, man.
Like I'm going out. I'm going to the Outback. Let's go.
Why don't I get an off season at work?
You chose. I don't because I'm an idiot. But I don't know. You chose the wrong line.
I should have been a
guess.
teacher. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I pissed Clayton off. This is what I was worried about. I said Tulsa when I made Oklahoma City, and now he's mad at me.
Those are two
obviously
different places?
Now be mad at him. Don't be mad at me. Be mad at Jared now.
One of those is made up, right?
No.
They're both in Texas?
Last thing here. I have no idea if we're doing a bonus. Okay? No idea. But I mentioned this to Jared before the show, and I definitely want to put this to the besties. I hope a lot of you are watching Winning Time on HBO, which is the slightly
I need to,
fictionalized
though, 'cause I love
telling
Showtime
of the rise of the Lakers dynasty when Jerry Buss bought the Lakers in the 70s and Magic got drafted and all of that stuff happened. It is incredible. I love it so much. It's obviously, amped up to 10.
Oh, I had this thought in the shower the other day. Okay? Just because we're talking about Lakers real quick, it came up. I don't know why I was thinking about Christian Pulisic
I
in
don't
the
even
shower.
want to know. Wait, hold on.
But I was listening. Let's think about Christian Pulisic for some reason in the shower. And true or false? This is
Yeah.
gonna probably piss some people off.
Uh-oh.
Is Christian Pulisic the Rick Fox of Chelsea?
Is he the Rick Fox of Chelsea? No.
Contributes.
No, Marcus
but
Alonso is
also-
the Rick Fox of Chelsea. Come on. Don't you think?
His hair is pretty
Don't
amazing.
you think Marcus Alonso is the Rick
He's the
Fox of
Steve
Chelsea?
Harrington of Chelsea.
It's the Steve Harrington of Chelsea. Okay.
I'm just saying, is Christian Pulisic is there for other reasons too, not just what he does on the field, right?
I mean,
but he contributes.
Maybe, sure, possibly. I don't know. I guess. Okay. Anyway, Winning Time is incredible. I'm very much enjoying it. It's obviously over the top, but John C. Reilly is brilliant. He's
Any Eddie
brilliant.
Jones reference will always make it on the show. I'm just letting you know right now.
Okay, that's fine. I can't go that deep on Lakers. I'm not going to get into it.
Nick
However,
Van Exel.
I really hope that somebody out there, and I know you would be just ripping off the style, and maybe the same producers can get involved, but why do we not have this for like the Cosmos era? I know that that's different because the Lakers built something and the NBA is still a thing, and the Lakers were, big forever after that, and the Cosmos disappeared in '84. But why not? Why not? Studio
98 World
84.
Cup. That's the one I want a movie made around.
Man.
98 World Cup. Cast someone as Winalda. Cast someone as Harks. Cast someone as someone else.
Man.
And let me
it would
see what
be-
happened.
It would be trippy as hell. And this is going to sound a little humble braggy. I don't mean it that way, I promise you. It would be trippy as hell to see a dramatized version of that. And I wasn't paying attention then. Didn't know the guys then. But I know both of them pretty well now to be like, oh, yeah. And the rest of the, 98 players and like see them being portrayed and then, knowing I could text Harksey and be like, what'd you think of that episode? What'd you think about the way they portrayed you in that one? Like, wow. Wow.
Wait, I'm trying to think. Who plays Steve Sampson?
Oh man,
Oh,
I don't
man.
know. That's the thing about Winning Time. Even though I know it's
Paul
not exactly
Giamatti.
100% to legit. You learn something about the Lakers. You learn something about the history. I had no idea about John McKinney. I didn't know who that was. Had no idea.
I don't know who
about
John
that guy.
McKinney is.
I think that's the name, right? He was the coach that Buss hired after he bought the team for that 79-80 team.
Oh, before Pat Riley?
Yeah. Well, what happened? Do you want me to spoil the show?
No,
I
I'll
mean,
watch
it's
the
history.
show. I'll watch the show.
Okay, because there's a spoiler in that if you
No,
want me to
don't
give
do
it
it.
to you. Oh, sorry, Jack McKinney. It's not John. Jack McKinney. He was the coach. Anyway, it's a whole thing. Did you know Jason Segel's in this playing Paul Westhead? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Did you know he's in there playing Paul Westhead?
I did not know that.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I just want to see John C. Reilly play Jerry West. That's all.
John
I care
C.
about.
Riley is Jerry Buss.
I
That
meant
right.
Jerry Buss. I meant Jerry
Yeah,
Buss.
there is Jerry West.
Yeah,
That guy
I
is
heard Jerry
awesome,
West
too.
is not happy with his
Oh,
portrayal.
he's
in
not.
this.
That's what I'm saying. He's going to have the reaction that I would imagine the 98 guys would have. You have, I just mentioned Jason Segel. You have Adrian Brody playing Pat Riley, which is just, it's so good, man. It's so good.
Who's playing Kurt Rambis?
There's no Kurt Rambis. I don't
There's
know
no
if he
Kurt
comes in.
Rambis.
He wasn't on the team in 80, 79,
He was
80.
on the team? Oh, not 79, 80. No.
No,
Like,
70.
late Showtime. Late Showtime he was, though.
No,
he
we're
was in the
talking about
Showtime Lakers.
Kareem Magic, Norm Nixon? Is
Norm
that his
Nixon.
name? Spencer Haywood comes in. Spencer Haywood is played by the guy, you would know this actor. He was one of the linebackers on the team for Remember the Titans.
I've never seen
the two
Remember the
linebackers.
Titans.
You never seen?
No.
Who are you, Nick Suberling? Nick
It's
Suberling
football.
is seen. Remember?
It's a football movie. Why would I
He's
watch
seen-
that? I've
It's
seen
not-
Rudy.
It's a Denzel movie. Don't think of it as a football movie. Think of it as a Denzel movie.
It also has
Love-
Jack from Lost in it, doesn't it? Why is it not a Jack from Lost movie? Why is it a Denzel movie?
Jack from Lost.
Yeah,
I
isn't
think
it
of
that one?
We Are Marshall.
Oh, those are different. Is that the one that has radio in it?
Oh, no.
No. Oh, my bad.
No. Are you talking about Cuba Gooding Jr.? Is that who you're talking about? Cuba Gooding Jr. was on trial recently. You know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he did some bad stuff. He shouldn't have been touching some people. Let's just say that. All right. Anything else that we should talk about before
That's
we
something
roll
we
out
shouldn't
of here?
talk about. But no, I think we cut everything we should talk about.
Okay. All right. We will probably end up doing the 23-man for June next week. I think when we have a little bit more information, and I don't expect the roster will drop before that week, right? The week after we do next week's show. Anybody think otherwise?
I think it'll be
He's not going to
before.
drop it 2 weeks ahead of time.
I think
First
it'll be
game is
before.
the first. You think it's going to be like by the time we get together, we'll have a roster?
Well, potentially the first is a Wednesday, dude. Like, we got. Oh man, do you think he's going to
Yeah,
drop
but
it
they're
1
gonna-
week out?
Yeah, something
Okay,
like
maybe.
that.
Okay, I guess. So.
Yeah. So if we're together here on the 22nd, I think the roster probably drops the 25th, 26th. Going
We'll see how many more people are injured by then.
Don't do that. That's mean. I mean, terrible. And yeah,
I mean, recovered.
yeah. So that's what you meant. All right. Thank you, Mr. Dubois. If you want more of this, whatever this is, Patreon.com/thebestsoccershow helps us shift some money Nicky Soup and Salad's way for everything he does for us. We have the Bestie Slack, which is the
I think about a game within the game where we have Nick count how many times Morgan rolls her eyes in an episode and see what Bessies can get closest to the number.
Ooh, I kind of like that one. So yeah, the Bestie Slack is an incredible community. Make sure you join that. What else is there? Am I missing anything else? The YouTube channel, subscribe to that. Like you're watching this live. Subscribe
Jason
to it.
Davis's TikTok, I hear it's dropping a banger later this week.
I'm making big promises over here. Was that before the show? I said that. I don't remember.
And Jason has a new burner Instagram that followed me too.
I do not. That I was surprised that happened to me. I've seen it happen to a couple people. I was surprised it happened to me. But yeah, somebody. Thank you to whoever it was. It was like when I said, "Hey, report this account. It's not me. This is nonsense." They were like, "Oh damn, 500 followers that fast." And then I felt bad about the fact that I don't have that many Instagram followers. So thank you for that, for bringing my
You need
confidence
to hire that dude
levels.
as your marketing guy.
Apparently, I need to be more burner Jason Davis instead of real Jason Davis is what I need. All right, thank you very much for listening, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Hopefully, we'll have a roster, or if we don't, we'll pick one out. See you then.
Get to the chopper! Eddie, what have you done for me lately?
You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
What? We just become best friends? Yep.
It was there for. Here we go, saucing them up. Hit him, wet.
Oh, baby!
Go to DEF CON 2.
Danger zone!
You said it, man. Nobody f***s with the Jesus.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Michael freaking Arasco!
J. Rodius.